Welcome to this YouTube video. Today we will be discussing the Indigenous Voice Referendum and key events from the Parliamentary Committee investigating the proposed constitutional change. We'll also be taking a look at a snap review of infrastructure projects, the discrimination case against Mark Latham, and the housing market turnaround. Kicking off with the Indigenous Voice Referendum, the Parliamentary Committee is holding its last scheduled hearing on Monday, with a day-long session to hear from some of the most passionate supporters and critics of the constitutional change. Today's hearing will be led by a panel of existing voice bodies to hear from Dale Agius, the Commissioner of South Australia's First Nations Voice, and Ani Geraldine Atkinson from Victoria's First Peoples Assembly. The hearing will also include representatives of Uphold and Recognize, a group of constitutional conservatives campaigning for an Indigenous voice. Liberal MP Julian Leeser, who left his post as Shadow Attorney General last month to help push for the voice, was among the founding members of this group. Father Frank Brennan, an academic who has supported the voice but has argued for its power to advise executive government to be wound back, will also give evidence today. The hearing will also include Warren Mundine, the Indigenous businessman and leader of one of the main no campaigns, called Recognize a Better Way. Mundine is reportedly touring the country to campaign against the voice, alongside Jacinta Nampijinpa Price, the new shadow Indigenous Australians minister. Finally, the hearing will feature a panel of lawyers, including Tony McAvoy and Cheryl Saunders, who assisted with advising the referendum process. But perhaps the most anticipated contributor will be Noel Pearson, the strong voice advocate. Pearson has made the news every time he has expressed his opinions on the constitutional debate, and his appearance is sure to be one of the major headlines of the day. Moving on, the government has announced a snap review into hundreds of infrastructure projects, claiming the coalition in the wake of their leadership spill in 2018 left them as fiscal time bombs. Furthermore, independent Sydney MP Alex Greenwich has lodged a police complaint against the state's One Nation leader, Mark Latham, alleging homosexual vilification in response to a tweet published after the NSW state election. Finally, to the housing market, where prices have slowly increased for the first time in nearly a year, marking the end of the housing market downturn. This comes as the government prepares for its budget announcement next week. Interesting times for Treasurer Jim Chalmers against the backdrop of a cost of living crisis and increased interest rates.